The High Priestess card. So first thing, I look at the number 2 at the top. The number 2 is also reflective of the sign Gemini. It's a duality. So there's two sides to a story, right? And you can see the same symbol reflected in the B and J pillars inside of this card as well. So for me, and just in general, the number 2 is representative of two sides, or even two people, or a relationship between two people, or between a person and a thing, like an entity. In this case, it's a spiritual entity. So this is the relationship between the individual the reading is for, or it could be for someone else represented in the reading, and their relationship with the spiritual realm, the other world, the outer realms. And this is a water card. This is a Pisces card. And this is in the shape of a portal as well, the number 2. It's in the shape of a portal. So when this card is drew, this is going to indicate that there needs to be some type of balance between the physical realm and the other world. And one might need to be increased more than the other, and this can be beneficial. Or on the other hand, this can mean that there's going to be obstacles in the way of obtaining that balance. See, normally the High Priestess, being that it's a Piscean card, is going to be more closer to the outer realms, to the emotional side of things, to the spiritual sense of things. So you can see there's a lot of blue in this card to represent that water. And so this can indicate that the spiritual self, or the spiritual side of this person, is going to have to, not necessarily have to, but consider coming into the earthly realms of things, which is not their natural element, but they're coming to part some wisdom on the situation or the relationship with the other individual, or one of those two things. And when doing so, they're bringing some type of information that is unknown. It's secret information. This card is about confidential information. If there was a card that says, I know everything, this would be the card. And I know in most environments that's not a safe thing to say. However, I'm saying it. And the reason why I'm stating that is because when you obtain information that is otherworldly, like from hive mind activity or from clairvoyance and things of that nature, it can be seen as alien. It could be seen as foreign, because how did you get this information and other people don't have it? You understand what I'm saying? So this is the card of the mystics. This is the card of the shamans, the card of those who meditate and astral project and have prophetic dreams and things of that nature. Now, again, I could get to looking at the pillars. You can see one is black, one is white. This is also a representation of duality. And again, it's a portal. So that portal is the portal to the other side, to the other world. And all of this light blue that you see in this card is reflective of purity, of serenity now. Mental clarity as well. That enables the situation to have compassion. And this is another reason why I'm saying, in its natural state, this card is more spiritual than anything. And that's why in certain situations, they have the ability to be more empathetic to trying situations that have more pressure or have more attachments in the physical realm. So that's why it could be topsy-turvy when it comes down to what is going to be the outcome of the situation, because if there's some earthly obstacles in the way, then that means this spiritual entity, this spiritual guide, has to be more in the physical realm than they are in the spiritual realm. So, it's about the balance. It's hopefully going to bring some balance. And when you see this card, it's more than likely going to come from a spiritual sense. Because when people are facing obstacles in the physical realm, not everyone has the capacity to be compassionate, has the capacity to even be spiritual, especially at this high level. So the High Priestess comes into the situation to provide that type of nurture that says, I know some things that you don't know. Or in certain situations, it might be a threatening situation, right? So perhaps they'll be reluctant to share that information in order to protect themselves or protect the other person in the relationship or just protect the situation in general. Now, the moon is here, which represents intuition and cycles. And the moon is like the mediator between the sun and the physical realm. So it absorbs the light from the sun and it becomes a medium for it. And it's able to add their psychic vision, apply their psychic vision into what's at hand. The moon is also instinctive and receptive. So this card, as you see the poise in this high priestess, is sitting like there's not a care or concern or worry in the world because they already got these things figured out already, and they're coming to be a priestess to nurture the situation. And the moon also represents nurture. It rules over the cancer, the breast, the mothership of the earth anyway. So again, if there's an obstacle, if there's an earthly obstacle, this card being drawn can show that there's going to be some nurturing to that situation as water nurtures the earth to grow crop. And also how water can covet the embryo inside of the womb is the same way that these high priestess can nurture and protect and develop the project at hand, the idea at hand, the creation that's at hand. This also applies strongly when it comes to doing any type of magic and artistic endeavors. This, of course, is a card of mystery, dealing with the emotional side of things. A lot of the times, especially on Earth, people tell you to suppress your emotions and don't express your emotions. However, there's a strong psychic capability that's attached to your emotions. So again, when this card is drawn, it does not mean that this is going to be very forward or something is going to be necessarily revealed. It can be a card that says hold on to your cards, or speak to your inner self, speak to your wisdom, speak to the meditate and receive the download, because this is something that can protect you, can protect the project, can protect the art, can protect the individual, the human being. You understand? So it's subtle. It's more of a subtle notion, because the moon is the hidden aspect of the self. It's not always full, right? So there's always some information that needs to be unearthed or revealed in order to be fully in the knowing. The high priestess is fully in the knowing. Like, I see the crown, I see the hat. You can see the moon is full on top of that hat, right? So that gives you an indicator that this high priestess is all knowing anyway. It just wants to see what the deal is. Because not for nothing, emotion and instinctual value can protect you and save you from some situations that being logical or rational or, thinking your way out of it just won't do it by itself. You have to dig deep within and shine your light from your instinctual and emotional side in order to navigate your way through the darkness, right? It's not the same as when the sun is shining through the day. Things are more safer, or at least more visible. Here you have to be more nocturnal and be able to see in the dark. And so when this card is drawn, someone may be trying to be sneaky, or whatever hand that they're playing in front of you, they may perceive it to be obvious to you. However, you can read the body language and the emotional gestures of that person or the situation and be like, nope, something's fishy about this, because I can feel it. I'm picking up on the body language. I'm picking up on what I resonate with, and what my instinct is telling me that something is off here, And you can tell how the high priestess caters to the earthly realm, as well as the moon is exalted in the sign of Taurus, and Taurus is an earth sign, right? So I also see in the crown here, as you can see, there's horns on top of the crown, which is reflective of the bull's horns, which represents Taurus, right? So the high priestess is going to tell one to nurture their natural instincts, to give themselves self-care, even when it's relative to your creature comforts, to maybe staying home, creating an abode for yourself that's of comfort. Now, when this card is reversed, it's telling me that you need to go inside of yourself, because you are aware that something inside of you is stirring, and it may be unnerving to you. However, it's something that you should keep to yourself.